Hello, my girlfriends. Hey, this is Angela Jordan Perry with Girlfriends' Guide to Homeschooling. As promised, I am still going through my curriculum, my favorite curriculum. I have had a few YouTubers ask me this, and so it'll be loaded up on YouTube. And so anyway, sharing it here as well. So as you know, I have been homeschooling for 18 years. My oldest is 22, my youngest is 6. So this year makes 18 years of homeschooling since my oldest was 4 years old. And so once I have figured out the subjects, the curriculum, I shouldn't say subjects, but the curricula that I enjoy and like and know how to work with, I just have kept with it. Although I've tried different things throughout the year, I just always go back to the same thing. So let me show you what our grammar, language, English looks like. All right, so for me, we start off in kindergarten, and I only have one of these. This is letters and sounds. And I always have stuck with Abeka grammar. Grammar is most comprehensive, but is very, very easy to go through. They do a lot of work. So I'm going to put the camera on here so you can kind of look through it. This is a teacher's manual because my kindergartner books are already used. So let me show you what this looks like inside. Okay, so again, this is the kindergarten letters and sounds. We go through this simple identification of the letter I and that type of thing. And you just keep going through. Okay, so Abeka does a great job at getting the student to, if you start them off at K4, by the time they get to kindergarten, a lot of this is just, they know all of it. So it looks like this. It's very colorful and engaging. My students like that. As you can see, it's not overkill. Front page, nothing on the back page. So, and you go through, let me skip on through a little further. Then we get to blends, two letters being together and working out that sound. Again, it's working on and strengthening their reading, okay? And as you can see up here, it's a grade. So I also just want to greet all of my replay people who will come back and see this later since they're not looking at it live. Thanks for joining in. Make sure you give me some thumbs up and hearts if this is good content for you. All right, so that's what this has on the back. So when they get further along now, they, start doubling up on some pages. Some work on the front and some work on the back. They have the picture, they get to color, which my son, my 6-year-old now, he loves coloring. So anything with coloring, he want to hurry up and get through the work so he can color. Here you get to draw pictures and that. So this is what I have used with every single child. All 8 of them have started off with this I'm sorry, not teachers, but letters and sounds for kindergarten. I really, I cannot speak highly enough of Abeka, and this is what Abeka looks like, spelling. I don't know why it's blurry. Okay, not sure why that's coming up blurry. There we go, Abeka, ABEKA.com. Okay, so that's the kindergarten. Now let me show you, let's get into first grade. All right, here's first grade. Then they have a first grade language. Sorry guys, I'm doing this with one hand. First grade language and letters and sound, okay? So language, again, is a beginning of structuring and writing sentence. You see it says grammar, creative writing, reading comprehension. Again, this is my teacher's manual. It's meant to be seat work where you can give the instruction and this child just goes on, or if they're strong readers, they themselves can read the instructions, and then do the work. So it's meant to be seat work. I use it as on your own work. Again, get to color and draw. The pictures are really bright. The pictures are big. So it's fun and engaging. Very, very comprehensive. Now, the way Abeka does, from their one book of grammar to the next, it just builds upon each other. So if you stay with it, they're going to get a strong grammar base even before they leave elementary, okay? So here, if your students is learning to do cursive, which I teach my students cursive starting in kindergarten, K4, and I just realized that although they really learn print, and then we go into cursive. Like my students now who are 4th grade, they have learned cursive so well, they've forgotten print. So now I have had to go back and have them do print and cursive simultaneously. But so if you have students who are doing cursive, they can write it in cursive or in print. Again, I really like it. It's just great seat work to work through. And again, they can work on their own, give them the instructions, and then they go for it. So here we are in 1st grade. They're learning what suffixes are and what that looks like, how to add suffix s and ing. So I really like that. Again, building upon them from 1st grade. Syllables. They're working on syllables here. Compound words. Normally in your generic grammar books, they're not getting to the subject matters in grammar so soon. So Abeka is generally about a year to 2 years ahead of public school. But if this is all they know and they're learning it from kindergarten, then, that's all they know. They learn sooner than later. So things like this, if they're a strong reader, they can read it, or definitely have to sit down with them, and that type of thing. So that is what the language 1 looks like, and then the letters and sound just works on phonics. You see it says phonics seat work. So again, I really cannot tell you how much I like this. I'm going to skip back here a little bit. So every other few pages they learn a new sound, oi as in coin, and then they have to read those, circle it. It always says circle the special sounds, mark the vowels. And so then they learn oi. The 2 sounds that oi make is oi, or the 2 forms that make oi is oi or oy. And they learn that. Oh, so they make the same sound. Then the next time you learn 2 new sounds. Ooh, like in book. And ooh as in tooth. The 2 double O's make 2 different sounds. So they learn that, and they remember the picture that goes along with it, the book or the tooth, So again, syllables, double consonants. I really like this. Okay. And so again, that's the 1st grade. And then of course I go right into the 2nd grade. I'm showing you all that I do. Hi, thanks for joining in. Give me some thumbs up if this is adding value to you and this is good information. I've had quite a few people ask me what are my favorite subjects, and not subjects, but favorite curricula that I use. So here we go from the 1st grade, kindergarten, 1st grade, 2nd grade, same thing, letters and sounds, phonics seat work, and language 2. And I'm showing you all of this on purpose because I want to show you the progression. So again, this is Abeka, which I really like their grammar. Okay, again, brilliant colors. They continue now with these types of blends, now 3 letters, not just 2, and they learn them. And so the cool thing is although they have it there, they just keep repeating it. Keep going over it. Here's the SPL, SR, STR. Keep going over it. Depending on how strong your student is, they can sit and do it themselves, or you can work through it with them. Okay, this book is blank because what I did for my other ones, I just purchased this and made copies and used it. Now my one that's 6 years old, he'll come and use these books as well. Now he will be the final one. He gets to write in them. Yay! So here is the language. It continues on in building. Really brilliant colors. I can't say it enough. I like Abeka grammar. Okay, if you have specific questions about that, then let me know. Then right from there we go into what is called Language A with Abeka. And I've done this with all of my students. Now, these books can be a little bit overkill because they give you so many problems. But again, they will know grammar in and out. This is already used and worked through. But I actually instruct from the board using this book. So at this point in the game for my kids, my student didn't, this is a book I purchased, so My student didn't make 4 out of 15. This is a book I purchased used, and I didn't care that it was used because I instruct from the board. So we work on the sentence grammar and fragment of a sentence and declarative, interrogative sentence, and it just builds and builds and builds. The one thing I don't use in Abeka grammar is their, I don't use their writing, their creative writing. We will use their, thank you notes, information, how to address envelopes and all of that, which is where we are now with my kiddos. Okay. And, but as you can see, something to write about. I skip all of this writing information. I don't really like their writing. I will go over the encyclopedia part. This is, again, language A. So when they get to 4th grade, 3rd, 4th grade, I will spread this book over 2 grades, 3rd and 4th. Okay, grammar is grammar. It doesn't really matter what grade. It's just grammar. It's English grammar. So you don't have to worry about it sticking to a grade level. That's why they call them language A. It says a 4 up there, but I start in 3rd, 4th grade. And then there is a language B. Guess what? It's more of the same thing, a little bit more in depth than what they did in A. Okay? And again, I cannot tell you enough how much I love Abeka grammar. It's really strong. And then they go into language C. So you have, although this says grade 6, and this one would be grade 4. Just a little info about me. I always skip my kids out of 6th and 7th grade. We don't do those grades. So they will have this in 4th grade, if you want to put to a grade, 4th grade, 5th grade, 6th grade. If we do, not 6th grade, but it'll be more like 8th grade. Okay, so my kids, when they're doing high school level work, they're also doing grammar. Okay, grammar is grammar. It just gets stronger. Now it pulls apart a sentence. Can they really dissect that sentence? And they give them a lot of practice with it, which I like. Now you can say, like for instance, if you can see with my daughter, this is her book, Norlani. She's now in college. She just went to college this fall. But this was her book, and I would circle what I wanted her to do. Okay, so I didn't have her do everything, all the sections. You see, this is even her paperwork still stuck in here. And I would circle her work. But she was such a type of student that she wanted to do all of it because she just loved it, just got it done. Again, this is Abeka grammar. I've had people ask me what is my favorite curricula to use. And so this week I'm focusing on grammar and spelling. If you want to know about math, I did a video on math, my favorite math books, or ones I suggest. I did that maybe about 3 weeks ago. So again, this is Abeka grammar. I really like it. You can pull it up online and you can look through it and see what you think, okay? Now for spelling, I do spelling with my kids all the way through high school. I don't start spelling until about the 2nd grade, okay? Because in 1st grade, I just want them, in kindergarten, all of that, I just want them to focus on the basics, all right? So I use Wordly Wise for spelling when they get to about the 5th grade, 4th, 5th grade, okay? So this is called Wordly Wise, and let me tell you why I like this so much. I like it. So they get these words that maybe you can see. They have words that more or less you would find on the ACT or SAT, okay? Hey, Karen. So Wordly Wise, and I like that. So they're not only learning to spell their words, but they're learning the vocabulary of the words. And these are, I would say pretty, advanced, words, bigger words to learn how to spell. And what's great about Wordly Wise is that it gives them, worksheets, if you will, to use it. Practice of those spelling words and grammar. Vocabulary, definitions. So what I would do each day of the week, I would assign them a section to do. Okay? So one day they will do 1A. The next day they'll do 1B. The next day they'll do 1C. The next day they'll do 1D. And then They have a passage that they're reading. Again, this is all the kind of stuff you would find on an ACT and SAT. Reading that passage with the vocabulary words, pulling out the meaning, the understanding from that comprehension. Okay. And then once they do that through the week, we test on the following Monday, and then they get ready for lesson 2 if they did well on their test in grammar. This, let's see, there is a book. Here it is. This is the test booklet. Okay. So again, I can't speak more highly of Wordly Wise. This has been a great resource. It's kind of blurry. I don't know why. But anyway, so here's the test. This is, I would print off for the student. It gives them, okay, a trek is a long, difficult what? And then they have to choose the synonym. I guess that's what it is. Isn't that what it is, synonym? The word that has the closest meaning to that. It's so blurry. Sorry, guys. I don't know how to get it unblurry. All right, so I make copies of that. They have the test, and then they go through the synonym. I really don't know why it's blurry. So sorry. Okay. So I'm going through for you all just joining me. I've had lots of people ask me what are my favorite the curricula that I use in my homeschool. And so this week I'm focusing on grammar and spelling, and I'm talking about Wordly Wise right now. I usually use Wordly Wise once they get to around the 5th grade, 8th grade, all the way through to high school when they graduate. So my 12th grader who just graduated, went off to college, she was still doing Wordly Wise because it helps with your ACT and SAT. It gives them a strong vocabulary base, strong comprehension base. Okay, so, and that is like what, a 5-page test that they do? No, I went too far. So it's about 4 pages for their test. All right, and I use that. They start with Wordly Wise as early as 1st grade, but this is book 7. I guess that would equate to book grade 7, grade 8. You can see is well used. That's grade 8, and here is grade 9. I don't rush through the year, so if we don't finish it in a year, we continue the next year, but nevertheless, we use it all the way through to their graduate. So these are a few of my favorite things as it relates to grammar and spelling. All right, my younger students just stick with Abeka spelling. Okay, so this is spelling 2. This is the book we're working through now. The words, I keep my younger kids, on a younger grade level spelling. For the simple fact that I'm wanting to build confidence in that. This is just what I found over 18 years. Instead of giving them words, especially with Abeka, that is on their quote-unquote grade level, I always keep it a grade under. So my students who are 4th grade, they're working in the spelling 2 and poetry. Yep, they're working the 2nd grade spelling. But the words are such that I think that is equivalent to what a 4th grader should be learning. But it doesn't even matter about that. It's just building confidence. I want them to be confident spellers. Okay? So if you go to the back of a Abeka book, they also give you definitions. And not only that, another part that I use, I'm trying to get to the poetry. I have my kids learn the poems, if I can find them. Here they are. So they memorize a poem every couple of weeks, okay? So this book here is so old. I think I've had this since my oldest one was 21. And so you can see all the writing in it from everybody. But here's the poetry section of Abeka. All their books have poetry, even if you start with kindergarten, 1st grade, 2nd grade, all the way up. And I use Abeka spelling all the way up to 3rd grade, I think I do. And then I switch over to 4th grade. Then I switch over to Wordly Wise. So they memorize a poem. And it's good for memory, just to strengthen their memorization. They have to recite it. This is part of what they do in their quiet studies for an hour and a half in the morning. Okay, so I hope this is very valuable. Just give you some idea of what I do, and maybe you can be creative on that. Some poems I don't do here. I just pull off the internet. things that would encourage them as people, Black people, little children of color. So I give them poems that I want them to learn based on that subject. So you can choose poems from anything if you want to add that into your studies. Okay? All right, if you have questions or have some suggestions as well for things that you use, trying to switch the camera around. So if you have suggestions that you would like to share, that you use and found very valuable, please post them in the comments below. These are just things I've used for the last 18 years, and they've worked, and so we've stuck with them. So if you have something that you want to present, please do, and then share why you like it. Show a picture or video or something like that. That'd be great to share as well. Okay, girlfriends? All right, have a good one. I'm off to wash dishes / supervise my kiddos over here who are doing their work. Yes, they're quiet as little mice. So anyway, have a great day, and join us on Monday, let's see, 11 Eastern Standard Time, Wednesday, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and Fridays, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for live interviews with different homeschooling moms to share their journey, their successes, their triumphs, their challenges, their favorite likes, all a host of things that we talk in our NV. So join us then, and otherwise, thanks for being with Girlfriends' Guide to Homeschooling. Take care. This is Angela Jordan Perry signing off. Bye. Have a lovely day. Bye.